Let's go. My bad. I'm sorry. I had to get some things situated in the told you I've been working on this software or whatever. And I got a busy day. I know it seemed like a long intro, but I was on the phone before I actually came on. I have a pile of stuff sitting on my desk that I need to get to, but I'm here. Let's get about an hour, maybe an hour and a half in. Can we do that? Let's do a sound check. Let's make sure we're good. Are we good here? Let's do a sound check. How we sound in YouTube? How we sound in Facebook? How we sound in Twitch? How we sound in X? How are we sounding TikTok? I don't know if TikTok is moving. It doesn't say that I'm streaming on TikTok right now, so that might be an issue. How we feeling today? Are we good? You know, I want to thank the few and the two that come in, especially today. Today is a special day for me. Actually, tomorrow is my actual anniversary, but I will not be here tomorrow. Thank you, Preston. He says YouTube is good. I will not be here tomorrow. Tomorrow is March the 21st, and it is my anniversary. However, today is the anniversary, the 5th year anniversary of Wyatt Live. This show right here, I've called it several different things: facts over feelings, drive home show, on the way to work, or ride home, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know exactly what this thing is, to be honest with you. It's the new thing that everybody seems to say is taking over the world, and that is like the YouTubing and the podcasting. I think it has made humongous strides in the media field. I'm not in media, of course, but in social information. A lot of it is real, a lot of it is fake. A lot of it is comedy. A lot of it is real. Some will bring you into tears, and some will have you laughing. I hope wherever I've planted my flag, I hope it's working for you. It's working for me. I've shifted a few times in this thing. I've covered several different things, and I'll be honest with you. Let me be very transparent. You know, I think if I was keeping score, let me get the screen right. Sorry, guys. If I was keeping score of what I'm doing right now, I would honestly tell you that I've lost more than I've gained. However, my gains have been more valuable than my losses. Does anybody understand? I promise you, that is not something that I thought of. It is something that I have just come to the conclusion of right now. I don't know how many people that I've actually lost while doing Wyatt Live, but I've lost a lot more than I would have thought I would have lost in my life. But now let me explain something to you. It's almost like in business. I'll give you a perfect example. I heard so many no's in my life in business that you would think that I would have given up. Stop doing it. Stop throwing my line in the water. But what you don't understand is for every 10 or 20 no's, it only takes one yes to accomplish your goals. You understand what I'm saying? So it's almost like, I've lost a lot. I've been told no a lot. I've lost a lot of people. I've lost a lot of situations. But what this podcast has been able to do for me is show me who I truly am, and know that I am the risk taker, and I am the giver that I know that I am. There's a lot of people that wouldn't do this. There's a lot of people who would not speak. I speak my truth. I can't say that my truth is going to work for you. I can't say that my truth even fits in your perimeter of life. I can't say that. But my trials and tribulations and life experiences is why I speak the way I speak, why I believe the way I believe, and the things that I've been able to see is why I come up with my conclusions. And that's why it's very frustrating to argue with people, because then I can't argue with you if I've never walked in your shoes? And how dare you try to argue with me if you've never walked in mine? At least I have the decency to admit, no, I can't really argue with you. I've never been in your shoes. I've never been, I've never had to work a certain type of job. So I can't tell you that it's good there or not good there. I can't really tell you that because I've never woke up and hit the clock right there where you go to work every day. I've never done that. So I can't tell you that it ain't that bad. It could be worse. I guess maybe it could, maybe it can't. I've never done it. But it amazes me how people where you from, where I'm from, we went through the same thing. We had the opportunity to make the same choices. And we chose different paths. We from the same broken up shit. But you chose to have certain type of fun. You chose to take certain risks that could send you to the penitentiary. You chose to do certain things. Your mama was the same age as my mama. My mama and your mama was cool. Yeah, I'm just saying. Nobody made you do that. That was a decision that you made. David Herring, what's good? He said, cap, glasses, be careful using that word cap when I'm talking. They don't speak like we used to, D. They don't speak like we used to, DH. That cap shit is something different. That means liar, lying. But just for the hell of it, we're going to keep this all the way old today. We're going to keep it old, okay? Trennis Black Popeye said, or you got caught and I didn't. Be real. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bro, you don't know what I know. Let me back it up. I didn't mean it like that. You can't know what I know if I've never experienced it. I know too much about that side. We're going to talk a little bit about that today because I don't know if y'all know about Big U. Big U out on the West Coast just got a RICO charge. And I can't wait to speak to Twin if he going to come in today. Because Twin be on here sometime. I ain't hating on my bro. You know that. I gotta get a pass this weekend. I leave for Chicago tomorrow. No, actually today is Thursday, right? I leave for Chicago. I'll be there Saturday morning. But I need my pass. And I mean, this is what I'm talking. When Twin come on talking about the GDs and the gangsters and stuff like that, bro, this is not the 80s and this is not the 80s when the gangs were formed to try to unite the community and they're gonna do things. No, when people talk about gangs in the 20th century, they're speaking of organized crime. Organized crime. Shooting one another, territory protection, drug trafficking, human trafficking, all the above. Pill popping, womanizing, penitentiary conquering. That's what people think of when they think of gangs. Because it's gang activity. Look, if you want to be known as something other than a gang, you got to not move like a gang. You see what I'm saying? You can't have lieutenants out here putting hits on people. This dude got 21, 22 people all arrested, and you trying to tell me he just gonna come on, man. Y'all telling me ain't nobody telling? And you telling me that here's the difference. I heard a lot of people talking about, well, he ain't this and this and this and that. It's gonna be even in his video. Even in his video, he was like, how they gonna bring in 20 people? How y'all gonna bring in 20, 22 people? I don't even mess with them people. I don't even rock with them people. I don't know them people. Well, anybody know. And then in this video, he did say this as well. He said, I'm gonna walk up out of there just like them YN brothers. No, you not. I ain't wishing no time on you, bro, but there's a state running a RICO case on you and the feds. There's a huge difference. It's like this much difference. This is a mile. It's a huge difference between Fannie Willis running a RICO on you. State is sloppy. State just be doing shit to just be trying to get elected. They trying to look busy. When the feds come at you, bro, if they hit you with a RICO, if the paperwork land, that's your ass. You pretty much going to jail. I ain't wishing it on him, but I know who he is. I know who he is. I know how he was moving. I know the affiliations. And it always kills me. And I'm going to show y'all a video. It always kills me with these gang dudes when they talk about how they just moving like this and everybody against them and they family, they doing what they got to do to take care of their family. How many fucking families are you ruining to take care of your family? How many sons and daughters are 6 feet under because it was easier to get them out the way so you can do what you can do and your family can prosper? Come on, man. Stop that. Stop. Come on, stop. He already hitting they doing the black man wrong. Well, I don't know how many white people you killed, BU. I don't know how many white people was in your path, but I could tell you how many black people you ripped apart. And then you want to turn around and use the race card. They just out here messing with the brother. And y'all know how he was moving the money, just like I've been telling y'all, 501c3s. They move their money just like politicians do. They move it in nonprofit organizations. Black Popeye said, feds got you. It's better than the state. Nah. I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one, Black Popeye, to the third degree. Let me tell you why I disagree with that. If I was facing the same situation this man was facing, I sure in the hell would wish it would be Gavin Newsom in the state of California coming at me versus the United States of America. You see what I'm saying? Because I can beat the state. I would feel comfortable sinking some dollars into lawyer up. I would feel more comfortable fighting the state than the government. Because the state, oh, you talking about doing the time? Yeah, of course. Okay, that's not, a lot of people don't understand that one. Black Popeye, that's not. I thought you were talking about something different. Yeah, of course, I would rather go to a damn golf course and do some time versus some state shit because you can find yourself in one of the roughest state penitentiaries. But this type of case, he's still gonna find himself in a highly secured penitentiary from the feds because this is violent crime. He's not going to some some light secured penitentiary or something like that. No, that's not what's gonna happen. So now, but if I had my choice, if you don't have much of a choice in situations like this, but if I had a choice, yes, I would rather the state of California come at me versus the United States of America. Because I'm gonna tell you something, the state always drops something. They always mess up. There's always some loophole, there's always some premature move, some slip into something, somebody misses something. They don't dot all the I's and cross all their T's. But in the feds, and this being a Fed case, and Nipsey Hussle and all them guys being involved in death and murder and all this stuff, trust and believe this paperwork is going to be 3 miles long. And it's going to be concrete solid. I told you the feds will investigate you for 7 or 8 years and just drop it if they can't get you in an indictment. But if they do get an indictment, it's lights out. It's lights out. You're gone. And they got 22 people, like 10 of them already arrested. And I can tell you right now, 5 of them aren't arrested yet, but that was probably the 5 that gave them all the information on the other 18. You see what I'm saying? They got people working inside the gangs, bro. They have people working inside the gangs, no different than the KKK and all these other interest groups. And they have people working in there. The feds got undercover people. Black Popeye said, I'm gonna remember what he said. Trennis said, he only facing 20 years. He gonna get every bit of it. But when you 60 years old, 20 years is like 50. You can probably die in the penitentiary. He's probably gonna die in jail. I'm gonna tell you something now, man. My time has expired. Like, if I was I can't go to jail now. I'm at the age now that if they gave me 3 years, damn it, that's a life sentence. You know what I'm saying? I need all my time now. I need every bit of free time that I could get right now is my time. If you send me to jail for shit, I can't stand 6 months. I feel like that's a half that shit. There's no way. And only us. I don't know no white people that be like, oh shit, he only looking at 20 years. Only us to say two damn decades ain't shit. I mean, why? Who do? Come on, man. I ain't got 20 months in me, let alone 20 years. Wow. And I'm gonna talk about that a little bit today. Talk a little bit about that today, man. I mean, the choices that we make. It's crazy. I do have a quick question before I get into topic. I don't want anybody to Google what the answer is. I just want to know what your answer is, like how you living on this. Like, how many hours a day do you normally sleep? Boy, I just took a wide turn on them. Like, why that ain't got nothing to do with what you was talking about. I just had a question for people. I just had a question. Like, I've been told by my wife, I've been told by my doctor, I've been told by, I remember my grandmother told me, I've been told by the people that love me, that was close to me and live and watch me live my entire life. I've been told that you're supposed to get 7 to 8 hours a day, 8 hours a day sleep, 8 hours, 9 hours. And I'm like, shit, I love life. I love life too much to sleep that long. I really love life too much. I got too much shit to do tomorrow to be in bed. I probably get 4, maybe 5 hours of sleep. And I know that might sound crazy, but on a good day, I might get 5.5. I might get 5.5. And on the weekends, I'm up just like I have to go do something at the office, like I have to work or something. I mean, I don't really consider the weekends days off because I'm checking emails, I'm working. But I've heard people say I get 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep. What the fuck you doing? What are you doing in life where you staying in bed so damn long? What are you doing? I love life. I love my life. I love everything. Pretty much, I'm 99.9 loving my life. I can't stay in bed that long. I would feel that I'm missing something. Something's going on that I should be, that I should be taking care of. I should be creating something, doing something that's making what I'm doing a little bit easier than it was yesterday. I remember growing up, man, and I remember seeing some of the things that I see today, and I look back on it, I know why certain things turned out the way they did. I remember growing up, some of us, I know I'm not the only one. I could say names of some of the people watch the show, and I don't want to do that. But I remember growing up, walking to school in the mornings down the way, and seeing guys out there at the damn store and on the corner that early in the morning. Like school time, and you got 2, 3 people already on the block standing there. Now, of course, I didn't know, some of them was hustling. I didn't know that. I was a young guy. I was walking to Washburn. But I also knew that some of them were out there just they're winos. And I'm like, what are you doing with your time all day, every day? Like, what are you doing with your time when you have free time? I don't know what free time is, to be honest with you, because I try to use every piece of my time productively. Like something could be done. Like something. And I don't know. I'm not really, my wife has told me plenty of times um that I just that I need to I don't know how to say it how she says it, but I need to calm down. I need to just relax. Um, you know, take some time for yourself. I guess you got to pay attention to what you really love in life. You see what I'm saying? Like some people think that when you work, that you're just pressing down on yourself and you killing yourself. But if you're working and you love your work, is it really work? Like if I was a singer or something, and if I could sing real well, and I got paid to get on stage and sing ballads and songs and shit, that don't mean I wouldn't sing at home. It don't mean every time I sing I got to be getting paid. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that I won't be sitting at home writing new songs. If I was the Callaway, I mean, how you think these dudes write these great freaking songs, man? They think about this shit. They get up in the middle of the night, something hit them, they snaps into it. These guys don't sleep. This is what make them great. This is what make them songwriters. This is what make them amazing people. They're not regular folks. They wake up in the middle of the night with an idea and they execute it. I mean, you have to be that way if you're going to be a creator. This is how I know I don't really love this. Because I don't lose sleep at night thinking about what I'm going to say on Wyatt Live tomorrow. I don't stay up late at night like, I mean, you know what would be a good show? You know what would be great to do? Oh, I kill him with this one. I don't do that. And my daughter's the same way. My daughter played basketball. And I'm like, you're really good. I mean, you're good. You're good, but you can learn more. And when I noticed, you can always notice in your kids when they shut down, like she stopped wanting to learn the game. So it was time for me to back up and try to find her, let her find what she really wanted to do. And she loved to do gymnastics and tumbling and all that type of stuff. And she would watch it on the YouTube and on the video all freaking day, all night. So I said, let me back up off the basketball. I don't want to push it down her throat. I don't want to force her to play basketball because I like it, and she absorbed it at a young age. So once I learned that she's through learning it, I couldn't force basketball on her anymore. I seen her watching the videos of people tumbling in the Team USA and the high rise stunts and shit like that, and I'm like, well, let me find something in the city of Cincinnati. We were living there at the time. I said, let me find something there that she can engage in. So we took her to Gym USA or USA Gym or something like that up in Fairfield. And she got into tumbling and doing all that type of stuff. And she engaged. I mean, she really loved it. She loved it. It kept her out of trouble. It kept her out of the way. It kept her busy on something that she truly loved. I'm a time manager. I believe that idle time, just wasted idle time, is not really beneficial. They say wasted idle time is the devil's playground or something like that. I believe it. I believe it. Because I'm going to get back to the corner situation. I balance my thoughts by using this corner thing. And growing up, I seen a lot of brothers hanging on the corner, some hustling, like I said, and others just out there just being in the conversation in the moment, nothing productive going on. I look at those same guys today, and all that idle time paid off. All that idle time paid off, because when you practice doing nothing, you get real good at it. If you practice gymnastics, you get good at it. You practice basketball, you get good at it. You practice hanging out on the street corners and just doing nothing, you get good at it. One of the things I learned in Europe that was very powerful, and it blew my wig all the way back, because I was old enough to understand right from wrong. I was old enough to understand where I came from and what was going on with my present time. Some of them little kids that was over in Europe. I, one of the things about that European government that I really admire, that I really said, oh man, we should adopt that in America, is that they make their children, soon as they graduate from high school, they have to be committed to some type of civil service, whether it's the military, the police, the hospital, or EMDs, or something of that nature, like rescues, fire department. Let me read this comment, because I've been waiting. I didn't know Sabrina Calloway was here. I seen her here, but I knew that she would probably engage when I brought up, because Reggie Calloway is her husband from the Calloways, right? And he's one of the guys that I really, really think is, and it's not just because our ties. I mean, I'm just telling you, like, I grew up on his music. Y'all, if you're from Cincinnati, you appreciate the Callaways, Zap, and all those guys. You understand what I'm saying? So I love bigging up and talking about them every opportunity that I can. But I want to read this comment that she said. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I'm assuming it must be something about what I said about Mr. Calloway. She said, when Reggie was working on No Parking on the Dance Floor, I remember that. I remember that. Excuse me. She said, when Reggie was working on No Parking on the Dance Floor album, I don't think he slept for 3 days straight when they were doing the mastering. It is definitely a labor of love for him. Absolutely. Show me a successful person. And I'm not talking about somebody that hit the lottery. Okay. I'm not talking about somebody that might strike it rich on a dollar scratch off or something. I'm talking about somebody that went in the mud, came out with something, and built it from scratch. You know what I'm saying? Built it from scratch. Put all their heart and soul into it. All right, because it's very hard to write an album and hit play and people love the whole album. That's almost impossible to do. It happens occasionally, but most artists don't get that. So I do appreciate people like Reggie Calloway and his brother, Belinda. These are people that write songs, and I know that they don't sleep. I know that they don't sleep because they're perfectionists. You know what I mean? They want to try to put out. They don't want to, when they're never going to put something out if they're second guessing it. Never. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. So I appreciate it. Thanks, Sabrina. I appreciate you reaching out, tuning in on that, because that's some inside information. She said he didn't sleep for 3 days trying to master that. And I know he was going over it and trying to get it right. He was trying to put out, because it was going out to the world. It was going out to the world. And when the world is watching, you have to be ready. You have to be ready. But that all being said, idle time. I find that idle time, it could be the devil's playground. And what I was saying about the kids over in Europe is when they graduate from high school, they have to commit 3 years of civil service. And I mean, they have to give 3 years of their life to their government. Sounds like something crazy. But when I see kids who may have had problems at home, didn't have any discipline, didn't have anybody to encourage them to find something that they love to do and be the best at it, or get into a trade or something of that nature. When people are missing stuff like that in their life, how are they ever supposed to get it if no one takes the time to be there for them for that? You see what I'm saying? Like, if the parent ain't gonna do it. And if, let's say, for instance, you leave Withrow High School and you say, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give 3 years to my country in the military. When you go to the military, which I'm not really a big advocate of, I don't really like to promote the military. Like, there's so many other things you could do to pick up a trade other than go into the military. But I'll just use the military as an example. There's so many trades that you learn from the military when you get there. You can go into the Army and come out being a dental assistant. You could go into the military, you go into the Army and come out, a paralegal. You could go into the Army and come out and pick up some training for whatever you think your interest is in life. I was watching this. I should have burned this TikTok. It was a video of a brother who was, I think he was down in Texas. And he had a video camera, which is his phone. He was recording. Y'all know those little tire places that they have in the hood? The retreaded tires where you go buy a tire and, you might have a flat. People in the neighborhood, have a flat. And I don't know what these kind of tire shops, not discount tire, but the little, the small business homegrown guys. It's like 3 Mexicans running it. And the guy with the video camera with the cell phone, he was recording and he was like, look at this right here. Look at this. Some of y'all may have seen it in the Wyatt Live Messenger group, I believe. And he was watching these 3 Mexican dudes take tires off and put new tires on and throw them tires away. They were working. They were doing something. They were serving a community. They had their own business in this community. And then he pans the camera over to the block, to the penny candy store with a soda, where they selling a bunch of shit. And the brothers are standing out there. You know how I look. You know how we are. I'm guilty of it myself sometimes. Not now, but I did it. Just hanging down by GJ's, just hanging, doing nothing, idle time, just kicking it. And these guys are over there busting their ass, putting new tires or, used tires on these cars. And then he pans over and he said, look at all that wasted time over there. Look at all that wasted time. Pan back over to these little guys putting tires on. Did anybody see the video or did somebody send that to me personally? I thought that was in the Wyatt Live Messenger group. Maybe what I'll do is I'll transfer it over. I'll go in and look at it. I want everybody to take a look at that. I want you to see productive time versus idle time and then see what the productivity that's going to come out of that. I've been around so many decades now that it seems like every decade there's a new generation of kids that come out with the same consequences of the decisions that the last group made. Same decisions, same outcomes, and nobody talks about it. Nobody brings it up. I mean, I guess I know everybody's scared to have these type of conversations because when you have conversations like this, you turn out to be the bad guy. This is what makes me think about this BU dude in California. Now, he's been home for 20 years from doing a stint in the penitentiary. Okay, I got a phone call that came in. Let me take this phone call, okay, guys, and then I'll get into what I need to talk about. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, Wyatt?
Hey, what's going on, twin? What's happening, man?
Man, this weather, man, making me sick.
What's going on with the weather?
No, I got bad nerves and stuff every time it rains. For me, hurt my hand a long time ago, my nerve damage. So every time it rains,
Okay.
got nerves and stuff. Be bad aching and everything. They want to do surgery on me, but I ain't want all that cutting and all that crazy stuff, man. I just got to deal with it.
Okay.
And everything. But other than that, man, I'm blessed. I'm woke this morning. I want to say, happy anniversary to you and your wife. And happy, happy 5-0 with the podcast, man.
5-0?
Yeah.
5?
5th anniversary.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I didn't mean to say it in the police way. My bad.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
What does the O stand for, though? What's the O?
They say 2.0.
Oh, shit. Where was I at with this one? Damn, I should have figured that out. My bad. Got you. 5.0. Got it. I appreciate it, twin. Thank you.
Hey, since they say you don't talk about politics no more or whatever, politics, so is it Trump's fault that we don't get no sleep?
I don't think so. I mean, if you want to, I mean, people blame anybody. You can blame anybody you want for not getting no sleep. Most people
Everything got to be Trump fault, man. Let them tell it. If you don't talk about it, why and stuff, it's a problem.
well,
It
I'm much
is
worried
what it
about
is,
that,
man.
brother.
You
I
got
don't.
to change. I know you got to change the subject sometime and turn things and rather than negative, turn into a positive, man. And let that battery connect together and get it jumping. So it is what it is, man. But what I was gonna talk about, yeah, Wyatt. Back then, man, we used to get 8 hours of sleep, especially if you're a party pooper and everything. You'll get your 8 to 10 hours of sleep. But why I hate to say it, not admit, I can admit to it. Why when I went to the joint, man,
Mm-hmm.
it turned my whole sleeping disorder. Man, I wake up, man, like I'm still in the joint about 4, 5 in the morning, man. And but I say that because it, with me, man, it's about money and what I can do for others and everything. How can I turn this 50 cent to a dollar, something like that?
Okay.
And I'm always thinking, and my girl be like, "What's wrong with you, boy?" I'll be like, "Man, just leave me alone." I'll get an attitude real quick.
Okay.
You messing up my thinking process.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think ahead what's going on. How can I establish something
Okay.
and make
I mean,
things
what
flow?
you're saying makes total sense to me, twin. It really
Yeah,
does.
man, because I'll be in a groove and me and my brother and stuff, we talk a lot and we trying to come up with something, some ideas and everything what we can do in case our people, we pass away and we can leave it to our kids and our kids can take over and everything. Cause we doing our thing. Why my daddy was a tow truck driver and other things.
Mm-hmm.
He was a gangster. And when my daddy passed away, we took over the tow truck company and everything. And my mom was like, "Let it go," because there was jealousy and everything with my uncles and all that. Cause we was doing the damn thing, and we let it go because she knew we was go leave Chicago eventually and everything. So we let everything go. But there's some money into it. I can't say that because the strength of my daddy name and what he did and
Mm-hmm.
what he stood for. But I love doing. I like doing. I say love. I like doing because he at an early age, Wyatt at 12 years old, just watching him putting red cars on there, and this how you do it. And Wyatt, he always say, I say, well, dear, I can't do it. And I remember Wyatt, if I ever told you, he punched me in my chest. He said, twin boy, don't you ever say you can't do nothing.
Mm.
At least I know you can try. Say you try doing it. Don't never say you can't. He hated that Wyatt. He ain't there with a pass. If you say you can't, now at least show him that you trying. But it was fun doing it, Wyatt. But yeah, you can't get that much sleep, Wyatt, because that horn got people going. It's computerized in their brain. That horn, which I mean the phone,
Mm.
it's got them. It's computerized. Why? Just think about it. Why people go to sleep 4, 5 hours. They wake up 2, 3 in the morning. They don't need. They got to use the bathroom. They don't check on their loved ones enough. First thing they do is grab that horn, man. That's the first thing to see the emails, text, Facebook, or whatever. And that's computerizing now. It's like, man, it's all in their mindset. And social media drain us. It's like they go miss a beat or something if they don't get to their horn. I can live without that phone. I care less about it.
Hmm.
My
That's what people
girl and
doing.
my
I didn't know
man,
that. I
I
really didn't know.
can. As
People are
me
waking
as a
up at what?
person, man, I got old tendencies, so I know me. I care less about that phone. If anything, hey, let me use your phone if I really want to make a phone call. Other than that, I don't care less. I ain't get what I get. I ain't cheat or nothing like that. But nothing like so. I ain't worried about a person going through my phone or nothing like that. So I can care less about their phone. But some people, man, go get my phone and man, I'm just going around the corner. Go snap on me for nothing. Man, you really love that phone? Man, so that's how society is
Yeah,
with this
I didn't know.
Rico.
I didn't know that's what they were doing. Okay, go ahead. I'm
Oh
sorry. The
yeah,
Rico what?
yeah. People like that. Why? You go to one of your buddies, one of these females and stuff. We gotta go back. For
Well,
what?
for the
I left my
record,
phone.
let me say this. I'm sorry to cut you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. But let me just say, I'm not on my phone. Look, I get up every day, probably at around between 5 and 5:10 a.m. every day. I don't have an alarm clock. I've been waking up at the same time for 20 years, probably a little longer than that. I don't have an alarm clock, never had one. I can't, I've never woke up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and jumped on my phone. I've just, I don't, I've never done that. Not that I can think of, unless I was expecting a call that was coming in from overseas or something. And and I fell asleep and woke up to take the call. But I've never got on social media at like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, or when I wake up. I have my regular routine in the morning, and none of it consists of me getting on my phone to check out social media, or I
Why
might
you
check.
got an old soul, man? Come
No,
on, we know and we
no,
understand.
no.
You can't even remember people's names, so you don't include in this group, man.
Okay,
What are
so
you
it's a
talking about?
generational thing, you're saying.
I know what you
That
talking
would have been a
about, man.
nicer way of saying it. Saying old soul made me that hurt my feelings a little bit.
Well, you always try to hurt mine, whatever. Sneak this on the low too,
I'm
so
just
hey, right
saying,
back
bro, you
at
could have
you.
just said that's a younger generation that do that. But maybe you didn't mean it that way. Maybe you meant
No,
what you
no,
said.
no, no, you do be forgetting people's name. Hey, I
I've
can
never
vouch
been
for that.
good with names, though. I'll be honest with you. I'm horrible with names. I
Oh
can
yeah, but
remember
I
a
know
person.
it ain't you, the type of person you getting on 2, 3 in the morning. Nah, unless you're going to use a bathroom, get a cup of tea or something like that. Other than that, no, no, no.
Okay.
But hey, why?
Yep.
What this Rico at?
Okay. What's up with
Yeah,
him?
what's his name? Nucky. What's his name?
Let's just say
Rollins.
Big U.
Big U.
Right.
That's the one that his son played for the Chargers, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's some. Hey man, when them people come at you, man, it's over. Unfair, because he did like what, 10, 11 years assaulting the police or something?
Yeah. He did some
Something
time.
like that. Yeah, man. And then it's the people you hang with, man, and they be wired up and they already got caught in the jam, and hey, you give us them, you give us them, and all that and everything, and yeah, man. When them feds come at you, man, hey, they coming, they got something on you. So him doing that, hey, he up in age, man. So that 20 piece, man, ain't gonna mean nothing to him. And he already know that's why he turned himself in. Like, man, it's just the principle of I did this for y'all, and this the thanks I get. And you're extorting Shaq and everybody else, and
well,
man, is
well, he didn't.
I gotta really look
He
into
didn't
it because it
really.
was crazy
Yeah,
how it
he
is.
didn't really extort Shaq in them. What he did is he falsified the nonprofit organization money. Like, he was misappropriating funds and taking nonprofit dollars and using it for personal use and stuff like that. A lot of people do that. He just
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really
yeah.
reckless on how he did it. That's what he was doing. But it was the violence that came behind him, twin. And I'm glad you called, because this is a perfect example of 2025 gang life. When you talk about gangs, I understand where you're coming from, because I've understood. Like I told you, I had a friend of mine who was from Chicago when I lived in New Orleans, and we were fairly young, and he would come to New Orleans because his mom didn't want him home for the summertime in Chicago. See what I'm saying? Because of the
Mm-hmm.
traffic, it was just too busy and too bad there for him. So Ricky, that was his name, was Ricky. He would come to New Orleans, and I heard all the stories, and I got an opportunity to go to Chicago to see Ricky one time when we were kids. My mom, the whole nine. And yeah, bro, like, the younger days of gangs were a little bit more community oriented until certain things start infiltrating the gangs as well, and they start dividing the leadership in gangs, which stirred them to start fighting. And gangs would break off of gangs and start other chapters of other things, and that's what caused all the gang banging, going back
They
and
took
forth.
well, what it. Sorry to cut you out. They took the real niggas out the street and gave us these puppies. That's the whole scenario, Wyatt.
Well, I
They took
mean,
the real niggas out the homes and everything and get this Section 8 and welfare, and that's what it is. They gave us soft ass niggas, man.
well,
That's
they
why this
can't give you that.
old, huh?
They can't produce what we produce. They can't give. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but that's almost like saying they gave us crack babies. See what I'm saying? Like they didn't give us crack babies. We kind of created crack babies because we chose to do drugs. So if we choose to take the money instead of doing what's right in the community, you can't blame that on the person that's handing the money out. You blame that to the person that's taking the money. That's how I feel about it personally.
But when you're trying to turn the community around with some strong leaders and everything,
then you don't have a strong leader, bro. You don't have a strong leader if the leader take the money, if they sell out. That's not a strong leader.
It's not about selling out, man.
Then
well, you're right. You're right.
I was gonna say, what is it then?
I reverse it. Okay. You're right.
That makes sense. Okay.
You're right. My bad.
Yeah,
You're right. But when the real niggas doing the thing and trying to, they see a come up just like in the 60s and 70s, whatever. When they saw the black community is about to shake this shit off and everything, about to be a strong movement, what they had to do? Hey, take Malcolm, get Martin. Damn, man, they coming strong. They multiplying like roaches. Matter of fact, get Fred Hampton. We ain't done. Keep going and on, man.
But they're not all weak. Let me just say that, because you can look at Big U right now. He's not a weak individual. Like, he was strong on what he was doing. I mean,
no, that nigga real nigga.
That's what I'm saying. And look what he did to the community. Nigga. So it don't take a weak individual to make those decisions like what you're explaining. You can have a sellout is somebody that sits there and talk about how much they actually love the community and what they doing for the community. And it just be bullshit, because it's like what I told you about Nino Brown. How you going to sell dope to your community and then on Thanksgiving give out free turkeys and feel like you've done something for the community? That's not how it works.
Right.
And that's what, this dude was robbing and, killing people, bro. Like, how many people were white? How many were Asian? And how many of them were Jewish people that he was doing all that stuff to?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
the reputation of these gangs, man, you got to be careful presenting gangs the way you present gangs, because gangs ain't nowhere near what the ground root of it was. All right, you see what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of people
I don't know, dudes still think this the 80s and 90s. Think he can, get over and he the head monster. That's what he thought he was, but don't nobody go by law no more. That shit over with. Ain't no leaders out here no more white. Ain't nobody people his age, and I know is doing big time business and everything. They done flipped the whole strip. Guys, I'm 44, and everything. Guys like 58, 60 and stuff I know that's been there, put their time in. A lot of them I know that's ran the streets and everything, and my brother, hey, they got business and all that. Why? And I never knew. I said, man, you used to terrorize the hood. I remember when I used to come in to y'all meetings and everything, GDK and all that, and man, it was so crazy. Now they got big business and they doing their thing. I always thought them niggas gonna end up dead or something, man. The things I saw and they did, but by the grace of God, they still here. But it ain't, man. Well, just like I look at Lil Dirt. That's the most stupid ass criminal ever, man. I hate to call somebody stupid, but that man dumb, because he sit up there and put everything in his name. And Lil Dirt, your name is known around Chicago, and you got street cred. But to put everything in your name, man, from the cars and flying people, you done, man. And your OG just came home doing the 30B, and this the thanks you give him. So it's crazy.
Now I'm listening to you. I'm just trying to figure out, like,
I'm not sure the whole concept of this.
No, I'm just saying, like, these RICO charges is exactly what I've been talking about with this gang life shit that's going on out here, man, and nobody talks about. We keep thinking that these guys out here are like celebrities and like the way to be, and they talk and they use us with that. This is what I'm doing for the community shit, and it's bruh, like it's not what it is,
like,
bro.
Like with him, man, like he pump faking, man. See, man, I could say so much, but I can't. He know he grew up in this area. He can't even go there for the stuff he did, and he get on there and all his sneak dick song, and that's why he got to have tight security when he comes to Chicago, even though he's from Chicago, for the shit he did, man. I listened to his rap video, Lil Durk. He a cool little kid. I know his daddy, but I don't know him. But I listen to his rap videos, and in his songs he rap about some
What'd you
niggas.
expect Dirk to be? What'd you expect him to be? You know what his father is in Chicago. You know his father is the same type of person. I mean, what'd you expect that kid to be?
I'm saying his daddy was on a different level though. He's on demon time. The shit he was doing. Him and Lil Von was on demon time.
Okay.
And
all the shit is demon time to me, man.
I'm talking about strong demon time. That nigga, you just got one thing. You either go to jail, you go be dead. The shit you doing out here. That's demon time. The bogus stuff you doing. That's demon time you standing on, man. For the stuff you doing. That's what it is, Wyatt.
Okay.
So
all right, man. Well, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like the gang life, all that old shit, this is what it really is. Time. This is what it's been for 20, 30 years that I've known anything about it. This is what it is. And if you really look at, if you look at what our culture is, when you look at the music, when you look at all of the clothing, when you look at the whole rollout of the culture, it all plays back into the big U's, the big Meeches, all these guys. And when you said, I don't know any other culture that admires that type of stuff right now. I mean, I guess you can say the Italians was proud of the mafia. I guess you could say that, but I just associate everything that I see out here with the kids being disrespectful to in school, to all of that stuff. It all stems back to the industry, that industry, them selling that industry to our children, all of that. And that's why I get kind of teed off, because people want to act like, you know, they want to act like it's not a real thing, or they want to act like that's not the problem, when in fact, I can guarantee you it's probably 80% of the problem. I used to think, I'm gonna roll back something. I used to think that the reason why our kids, our sons were rolling out being what they were is because single motherhood and stuff like that. It does have a lot to do with it, but if they didn't have all this other stuff ahead of them to look at and admire and see so many dumbass dudes out here doing so much dumb shit in the community, a single mother would probably have a much better chance of raising a kid that stays off the street. But for some odd reason, we glorify this street shit, and that makes it 10 times harder for a mother to raise a son.
That's true. That's real true, man.
So for those that don't like this conversation or think that this is some bullshit, maybe you should just sit back, sit this one out, and not, maybe do something different with your time. But this is kind of part of what I've been talking about, what's going on with decision making since I've started the show, Wyatt Live, 5 years ago. 5 years ago today. It's always been about making choices, but it's not fair for a young man to grow up in an environment where making choices comes from bad people. The choices that they make, they're influenced by bad people, and then nobody really wants to holler and make enough noise and say, those are the bad guys over there. No, everybody want to be the bad guy when they outside playing. Everybody want to be the bad guy on the video game. Everybody want to be the bad guy. And then you got all these girls that love the bad guy. And you promoting bad behavior. And then when they make these choices in real life, we sit back and say, these kids are crazy. There's something wrong with all these kids. When in fact, we the one putting the sugar in the Kool-Aid for the kids. We feeding them the diet of the dumb shit.
Hey, you remember back in, 99, late 99, 2000, when Farrakhan hit that summit with all the rappers. I don't know if it's Tupac was still living or not, probably not. But you hear Jay-Z, P. Diddy, and all that. And he said, y'all can rap about bitches. And some of y'all have good songs. I like some of y'all lyrics and all that. Y'all rap about bitches and hoes and all that. But at the same time, y'all want people to buy y'all records and all that. But what are y'all doing to help the youth out and young brothers in Chicago, New York, California that's killing one another and selling drugs and all that? Now one of them stood up, Wyatt.
Well, that's an oxymoron. That's an oxymoron. That's a crazy ass. I mean, it's actually a crazy question, because it's almost like, how do you tell people not to do drugs when you talk about drugs as a come up in your songs? How do you tell somebody not to rob or steal or drink lean when you brag about it and think that you glorify it in your songs? I mean, they're not talking about buying property in the communities in their song. They're not talking about
No.
buying businesses and growth in the community in their songs. So how do you go from your platform being all this destruction and then try to sell how great, how you should be a good person? It's almost like I don't know, bro. It's almost like the the villain in a movie going into a classroom and telling all the kids how not to be like me, but everybody love him. I mean, how do you do that? You see what I'm saying? How do you stay being who you are? Do you ever notice that in rap, there's only so many artists that make it real big? They don't have a plethora of a bunch of achieving artists. They always have like a handful. You see what I'm saying? They have a handful because they want that handful to control the narrative that's put out there.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, that just seems to be a normal thing, and it's constructed that way. It's put together that way. Now these record companies have hundreds of artists signed. Some of them even have completed albums already, but they put them on the shelf until the time is right for them to release them. And that's constructed that way. They don't want them to take any energy away from their superstar.
Right.
Even though they could make more money by having two good artists out there, they still want that one artist to keep pumping and making them more popular. They don't want that artist facing any type of distracted attention. They do that on purpose, bro.
Right. Hey, Wyatt, hey, what's up with that Music Fest lineup, man? I see Janet Jackson pulled out. What's his name? Santangelo, whatever his name. Somebody need to change his lineup, man, or upgrade. Cause I'm tired of seeing that sorry ass Music Fest now,
well,
man. Like
I hear you. I don't know what Janet Jackson's situation is. I read in the Cincinnati.com today that she pulled out of the Music Fest. I thought that was bad because I wanted to take my wife. My wife loves Janet Jackson. I like Janet Jackson, and we were going to go to the music festival because of Janet Jackson. We were going to go that night, and I've seen Janet Jackson a few times, but it would have been nice to be in Cincinnati and watch her. But I don't know, man. I've had a problem with that same group running the damn jazz festival forever because jazz festival been a big thing since it was Cool Jazz Festival when I was a kid in Cincinnati. And it's been the jazz festival forever, and it's been ran by the same group. And I thought that we would have took that over a long time ago, but
man, they should have been took it over. Like we in a new culture, man. I know. I still respect my OGs because I listen to a lot of old school, like Big Rob and Wendell B. and other other cat. But man, I need to upgrade, man. And you gotta have something for like the youth too. Like, they like the little, I don't like them, but the Gorillas and Sexy Red and who else?
You said
Lizzo
what?
and
you gotta what? Bring them? You gotta bring them where?
I'm talking about like bring them to like.
I mean, shit. You sound crazy than
man. You can't discriminate, stereotype,
nah,
man.
Bro. Let me tell you, bro. Come on, get a youth
something a day too, man.
Nah, bro. Nah, okay. If you feel that way, that's cool, but I ain't on it. I'm not.
Man, your rich ass up there discriminate, stereotype,
bro.
man.
This ain't got
Come
nothing
on,
to do
man.
with.
Hey, the young. What you mean? That's gonna mess up the city budget? I mean, funds or something?
It's gonna
mess up. Make Chicago and Detroit stop coming here,
bro. You can't bring certain type of music into the city and think you're gonna have a great night. Come on, man. I mean, have you paid attention to what happens at those little concerts when they play them clubs? Have you paid attention to the shooting? Didn't you know it was just a shooting at one of them little dudes? It was that you can't bring that nonsense to the city of Cincinnati.
I mean, Eden Park or something?
No. There's gonna be drama.
Yeah, you just gotta beef up the security or whatever.
Nah, bro, I pass. I'd pass. I would listen, man. Security don't stop problems.
They do it in Chicago though. Well, the Palooza, whatever.
Okay. Then we'll let Chicago handle. And Chicago had how many more shootings than Cincinnati? We'll let Chicago handle them guys. We'll let Chicago keep having them concerts. I'm not trying to interrupt anybody's money, but I wouldn't look, bro.
It sounds like you hating player.
Okay, that's fine. I was hating.
That's my advice or whatever I can get to the upgrade. I mean,
I was hating
for the youth. What they have it at the Bank Arena.
What they have at the Bank Arena?
When Lil Durk came down here before, Roddy Rave and them came down here before.
Okay, well let them do that over there, bro. I just don't.
I'm saying they should have some, including with the music fest.
I think
all of them gonna see on Al Green and all that crazy stuff no more. They washed up.
I agree. I think Al Green was one of the craziest.
I think they should have something for the youth too.
I think Al Green was one of the craziest main events that I've seen happen at the Jazz Festival in decades. I really think that was great. I thought Al Green coming to Cincinnati, or doing Cincinnati and being the main attraction. I think it was last year or the year before that. I thought that was the craziest.
That was last year. Sat down the whole time and passed out rose and love and happiness.
Yeah, but I think that the Jazz Festival serves better going into like
they gotta upgrade, man. Otherwise, people going
into like 90s music. I think that's more suitable because the Jazz Festival, from my understanding, even when we were young, it was never really for the young. They start, like it was Teddy Pendergrass and them going to the Jazz Festival when I was a kid. That wasn't violent. It was chill music. And then another generation came in. Jazz Festival was always kind of cool, smooth, sit in a lawn chair type of a night. It was never, like a concert that you would bring in with hip hop artists lined up. It was never like that. It was more of sit in the lawn chairs, sip a nice drink, and sit back and chill and listen to Frankie Beverly and Maze and some other artists that were maybe a little bit more turned up. But it was never pants down and gun-toting ass dudes rapping songs and shit like that. It was never that. And we should never get to that.
Have to adapt though. We're in a new era,
no, bro.
Right?
I'm not. No, I can't get with that. I think that they should bring a lineup in with Dave Hollister, Blackstreet. You could kill a jazz festival with stuff like that because it's going to be the 40 and the 50 and the 60-year-olds that are going to be right there for that.
I agree with you on that end, but look, I like to see, like Big Rob or somebody new, like the new dude, what them fans said. Man, you had a whole dang old roof. Well, ain't no roof on Bengals.
But I feel you on that. Maybe something like that, and everybody get their cowboy hats
on. Nobody want to see like you, Al Green, and other people, man.
Yeah, I think they learned that. I think they learned that was a bad choice. I guess I don't know. Mary J. Blige was an excellent choice the year before. Teddy Riley was an excellent choice that year before. Let me play this real fast because it's my wife and I's anniversary tomorrow, and this was us at the last Teddy Riley show at the Jazz Festival in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm sorry. This was just, I believe, last year or something like that. This is me and the wife right here. Check it out. Okay, see, that's what I want to go do. I want to be grown people down there, twin. You feel me? Can you hear me? I want us to be grown. I ain't got to worry about stepping on nobody's sneakers. You understand? I don't want to worry about bumping into somebody and it getting, it's getting crazy out here. I don't want to worry about all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I like the lineup last year, like Neo and what's a Fantasia. I liked that lineup.
Oh, now Fantasia is not gonna bring out no crazy people. See, Neo is not gonna bring out any crazy people. That's gonna be people that's gonna be we're gonna chill. They're gonna chill. We don't want all that jump around. jump around. We don't really want all of that. We're a little too old for that at this point.
Yeah, right. You doing TikToks and all that. You ain't know.
Well, I'm fitting in with my daughter. My daughter, that was for her. I'm just saying, like I'm being dad on the road. You know what I'm saying? I'm being daddy. I was being dad. Oh, people said they couldn't see my video. I don't know what happened. Let me try it. Let me see if I can play it. Hold on, twin. I'm sorry, bro. I'll give it a shot. Let's see. It's not showing. I guess it's blocked. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
Did you bet on the game?
Which game?
Do you do bet?
I don't really bet on sports, to be honest with you. I don't bet on sports.
Mess my bracket up. Louisville just lost.
Sorry, guys. The video wouldn't show. It's probably because it's been. I got you, Sierra Scott Bain. I'll try to play it. I'll put it on my page. It's nothing big. It's just my wife and I having a good time at the Jazz Festival last year or the year before. And it was us with Teddy Riley and Blackstreet were there. And that's our shit. That's, we love, and we were just right there, right by the stage. Thanks to Lim Jenkins. Y'all go check out Lim Jenkins. He sells tickets for the Jazz Festival. He's Lim Jenkins Promotion. And I mean, he hooked me up with some unbelievable front row, like right at the stage. I mean, we were right there. And Teddy Riley is my guy, and I love his music. Huge fan. And we had an excellent time that night. And let me just say this, to see Teddy Riley, Blackstreet, Mary J. Blige, and a couple few other artists all in one night, that's a chill ass night for me. That's the type of jazz festival that I want to go to. I don't want to see Sexy Red. I don't want to see I don't want to see any of that. I don't want to see I don't want to see Cardi B. I don't want to see any of that. That's just I guess I'm just too old for it.
All right, well, I've been on too long. Once again, happy 5th, man. And
thank you, brother.
Happy anniversary too. You be safe. It's all right for you to check in.
Okay.
I already called my guy. No, just play. Now you be safe though, real tough, man.
All right, bro. Thanks for engaging, man. Appreciate you. Man. All right, bro. Thanks. That was Twin. All right, Twin. I appreciate it. I wanted to give Twin a little bit more time than I normally do. I mean, that was probably about the same amount of time, but I wanted to give him that time because I kind of wanted to hear an answer from him about how do you justify this RICO case with these guys like Big U out there. This is the new gang violence, and it's been the violence. It's not new. This is the common gang violence that's been going on for at least 3 decades. And I don't know how you can, Twin, I don't know how you're going to ever have a conversation with people describing gangs the way you do and think that they're going to hear any good out of it. Like when you hear about the Black Panthers and what they were about, some tried to some tried to label them a gang at one point. But when they're building, schools and things of that nature in the community and buying groceries and adding study time for the kids in the community, that's a different argument. It's hard to label them a gang, okay? But we just didn't get that out of the GDs. We didn't get that out of the Crips and the Bloods. We didn't get that out of them. We got violence. We got crime. We got shooting and killing, murder, RICO charge. We got a bunch of that type of stuff, corruption. We get that out of the gangs today, and that's where our kids are ending up. Let me go to the phone lines before I get out of here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, it's Tracy.
Tracy, what's going on? Long time no talk to.
It hasn't been that long since yesterday.
Yeah. What's good, sis? What's happening with you?
Okay, so what I was gonna say, I want to tell Twin that I've been going to the Jazz Festival for a long, long time now. And that night, as he may or may not know, and I know he wants us to change with the times, is strictly for grown folks. that whole weekend is our weekend unless you want to walk around and be on the square and do whatever there. But I do not want to be in that stadium with a bunch of kids. And let me tell you, I
Twin
had a
tripping, Tracy. He tripping. Don't worry about what he talking about. He tripping.
I had a conversation though with one of the Santangelos, who everybody knows is the promoters of the group, about 10 years ago. And she said, let me ask your opinion. Do you think that we should invite Chris Brown? And I said, absolutely not. And she looked at me and she said, why? Because, everybody was on Chris Brown. I said, because it changes the dynamic of the demographic. I said, let me paint a visual for you. I said, imagine you invite Chris Brown and then you have a bunch of 16 through whatever age, 20 something year olds. No, let's cut off the tweens because they're legal. But some of his fans 10 years ago were like 16 to 18, 19 years old. I said, and they're running through the club level, and the club level sells alcohol. I said, you got to worry about who's going to be buying them alcohol. If they don't get carded and they buy alcohol, if a fight breaks out, you don't want them in the suite levels. And I'm not saying that every 16 to 18-year-old would, there is a greater chance that something like that will happen. I don't want to party with my own kids, much less somebody else's kids' jazz festival weekend. So I'm just saying, if you go back to the 90s, cool. But all of this, I can't even name some of the names that like he was naming, but I don't want to see none of those people who I can't understand when they get up and take that mic, and I need a translator to try and figure out what the hell they're saying.
Right, right.
So I just that's not their weekend. I think
No,
they can party wherever they want to when their group and demographic comes to town.
I
But Jazz
agree.
Festival is just not for that.
I agree, sis. I mean, we want to put on our white outfits. We want to go down and chill. Remember back in the days when we took the lawn chairs down, and you know what I mean? It was really chill. And that's what we want. We don't look, I think that's a good call. I think that Chris Brown is a little bit out of our scope. I think he would also bring in the young. I guess now it might be a little bit different because he's what, about 10 years
A
in
little
now.
bit.
Yeah, he's probably a little bit more chill, but he's not Usher yet. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Usher would be one that I would say we could bring in. Usher is our Chris Brown, so to speak. You know what I mean? That would be my idea of, if you're gonna get anybody, get Usher over Chris Brown. Chris Brown gonna bring in them little girls in the hottie dresses, and the little knucklehead boys is gonna be trying to impress them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's a good call. I'm glad you told him about that. Like, nah, that's not
Now,
gonna
what
work.
I will say about Usher though, when he came here before, I don't know if he just didn't feel Cincinnati was, big enough for him to bring his band, but he sang to some damn tracks and rolled around on the stage. I was highly disappointed in Usher's performance that year.
Yeah.
Usher is way too big to be singing to some tracks, and if he came with
He
that
didn't bring a
BS this
band?
time, I would be mad.
He didn't bring a band? He didn't have a band?
Nope,
He
nope.
didn't even use a
He
house
came
band?
and he sang to some tracks. And
Wow.
if anybody remembers that, please validate that in the chat.
Yeah,
He did not
that's
come with no
horrible.
band that year.
That's
And that
horrible.
was probably about 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's horrible. Now I'm gonna tell you something. What was it, Tracy? A couple years ago when Mary J was here, wasn't it? A couple
Yeah.
years ago,
hmm
my wife and I, we enjoyed Mary. She had a
Yeah, she
band.
put
She
on
had
a
her
show.
background singers. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be honest. She's not the best entertainer in the world. She has the greatest
Right.
songs. You love her songs, so you get into the song. But Mary ain't
Right.
up there killing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't up there like stage performance. Like bang, boom, boom. But she's
Right.
probably one of the best shows I've ever gone to down at that jazz festival, because her catalog is that strong. You know how,
Yeah.
like
She
Teddy
puts on
Riley.
a good show.
Teddy Riley did the same thing. He stood up there with a
Yeah.
damn keyboard and turned it
hmm
out. Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
need dancers. He was up there, a one-man show. And
Right.
he was with Blackstreet and broke out of Blackstreet, and he took about 20 to 30 minutes out of their time for himself. And I
Right.
mean, that was the best performance of the night for me. And all he had was a keyboard, but it was his catalog that I was into. You see what I'm saying? It was his music. So
Yep.
yeah,
Now
but
this weekend I'm going to see Dougie Fresh, and I don't expect to see any kids down there.
you
Again,
won't,
a grown folks performance.
you
You know
won't,
what I mean?
you won't see, if you see anybody in there that's under 40 or 35, I'd be shocked.
Right.
And
I'm learning
35 is
not.
really cutting it. You know what I'm saying?
It really is. It's cutting it close.
Yeah, I think 40 is probably, what is that generate? That's the New Jack Swing generation, is about 45-ish, 40 to 45-ish on up, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
To maybe 55, 45,
Yep.
somewhere in that area, 45 to 55,
Yeah.
you would say? Yeah, I would say that's going to be that group. Now, I've seen Dougie a few times. Matter of fact, I think Old School Lando brought him in a few years ago down at Sawyer Point during the Jazz Festival week. Remember, they had the Thursday night or something like that is the hip hop, old school hip hop night.
Right.
See what I'm saying? And I think they should keep it that way. Jazz Festival is for, just like when we were younger, it wasn't really for us, but we went downtown and hung out.
Right, on the square. That's where kids belong.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They don't belong in the
I tell
damn
you who else
stadium.
is coming. I don't know if you heard, August 1st, and I'm going to see that one too. Again, grown folks. Sheila E. He's coming to the Ludlow Garage. I'll be there.
I like Sheila E.
Yep.
I like Sheila E. I might try to scope. What was the date on that?
August 1st. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. Listen to me putting the ad out on your show.
No, that's okay. I ain't tripping. I mean, hey, August the 1st, Sheila E. in Cincinnati. I had to check my schedule. I'm at that mode. I'm at that mode right now, sis, where when I hear the concerts and stuff, I'm trying to get to them because I'm winding down. I'm about ready to hit that mode where it's like I'm chilling. I'm not working as much anymore, and I'm ready to maybe go do some things. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, I know you got to go.
All right,
and, I'm still at work, but I just wanted to put that out there for Twin. He probably somewhere cutting me up, but no, we don't need to conform and adapt to that. That's our weekend.
We don't need no damn Sexy Reds and no Cardi B's and none of that bull
at all.
Nothing. I feel you. You 2 for 2. You 2 for 2, sis. You didn't call in here with some damn sense 2 days in a row.
You know what? Stop it. I'll call and be radical tomorrow.
All right, man. I won't be here tomorrow. I won't be here tomorrow, but we'll try to.
Look, you already. How you get another day off?
Well, it's not that. Today is the 5th year anniversary for the show, and tomorrow is my wedding.
Sorry, I forgot.
That's okay. I know you don't really rock with us like that. It's cool. It's all great. But I'm just saying, today is the 5th year anniversary of the show for Wyatt Live, okay? And then tomorrow, the 21st, is my wedding anniversary of 27
happy anniversary
years.
Twice.
Yeah, 27 years, babe. So, yeah, we're going to fly. We're going to go to Cincinnati. And then
you got married young. You got married at like 18, right? The way you lie about your age.
Let me do the math before I start creating these lies. Let me do the math on it first. I'll get back to you. I'm gonna let you know what.
You remember sitting on the lawn at the Jazz Festival, but you're really not that old.
That's because I was sitting on my mama lap.
See,
she was going in there to see some people, and I was sitting on her lap.
Right.
But no, hey, I'm headed to Cincinnati tomorrow, and going to go to Chicago for the weekend.
Okay, so gotcha. Well, have fun.
Appreciate you, sis.
All right, talk to you.
All right, bye. That's Tracy, y'all. I'll give her my the date of when I got married, as far as what year and all of that, and how old I was, when she gives me that homework assignment we've been waiting on for 3 years now, Tracy. Been waiting on it for 3 years. I missed a call. Y'all know I can only take one call at a time. Feel free to call back, caller. I'm sorry. I was trying to let you know. I was sending you over to the that's not the call. I was sending you over to the wait line so you can call back in. Hey, I think this is the person here. Let's go straight to the caller before we get out of here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
All right, Mr. Wyatt. This is CK.
CK, how you doing, brother?
Hey, man. I'm calling from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay. You okay?
Yeah. Yes, I was very disturbed by something you said in your last caller.
Oh my goodness. What could that possibly be?
You said something about Sexy Red.
Yeah, I did. What's on your mind about Sexy Red?
I mean, do you listen to her music?
Let me think. No, I don't.
Let me tell you, when you hear this woman music, it would change your whole perspective.
Perspective on what?
I mean, talent upon talent.
Talent? Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. Have to be a little bit more
You
specific
gotta
with
watch
me.
her video. Watch her video she did with Glorilla.
Okay.
I mean, they was in the barber shop getting it in. You hear me?
Okay, but what was talent? What? Okay, I'm not suggesting that she's not talented. Okay, I do have my opinion on that, but in this phone call right here, I'm not suggesting that she's not talented. But I do want to know, in what way is she talented? What is specifically what's
Musically,
talented? Musically, in what kind of way?
yeah,
Bars, lyrically?
yeah, bars. She sounds
Oh my God.
like a '90s, early '90s style. That's why their success. I'm so proud of her. She's part of the wave, the movement of taking hip hop from the male dominated sport that it has been, Mr. Wyatt. So now when she comes along, she dominates with the women. Her Megan Thee Stallion, you know what I mean? You got these women dominating the sport. Nicki Minaj. Now it's a female dominated sport.
You
She's like
can't put
Angel
Nicki
Reese.
Minaj in
She's a
the
pioneer.
CK. I can't let you throw that dirt on Nicki Minaj like that. Nicki Minaj is a lyricist. I'm sorry.
Yes,
She's just a
yes.
lyricist, and she's probably the dopest female since
Come on,
Queen
come on.
Latifah and
No,
MC Light.
no, no. The greatest MC female is Light. MC Light is the most talented,
Okay.
and Mia X from No Limit Soldiers. You remember Mia
I
X, Big
remember
Mama
Mia X.
Mia?
I can't say that she's one of my favorite. I say that she was strong, but she's not one of my favorite.
Yeah,
But
because you was hating because of where they was from, No Limit. You was hating on the Louisiana big
how, bro? I
girl.
got Louisiana ties. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
love
So
how
why wouldn't you know that this woman is one of the greatest
I said she
female
was dope.
MCs ever
I
touched?
said she was dope, but she's not one of my favorite, like of all time, bro. I don't have like this long list of all time favorites. I kind of break mine down to one or two. That's just me. Some people got 10 greatest artists of all time. I might have one or two. That's just
So you're
me.
telling me that Latifah is better artist than Mia X?
I think Latifah did things that um I think her and MC Light are probably the best MCs that ever came out that constructed hip hop. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because yeah, that's just my opinion. I think that, yes.
Ooh, ladies first,
Yeah, I mean,
right
she
there.
but I'm gonna tell you something. Latifah had a better business hand than all of them.
Yes, I like her. She's a she's a smooth bully. She's not a gorilla bully. She's like a smooth bully. She's like guys bully their way in the game. She bullied her way in the game smoothly, and Missy Elliott followed her blueprint. Just smooth your way. Just they love you to death. You gotta be. You remember Queen Latifah? She was at all the hot spots. You
Okay.
remember?
Yeah, I
She,
pretty much did
yep.
everything that you could do in the game.
Yeah, you talking about a phenomenal female with height. She was a tall woman, but it was her personality that made her stand out, Mr. Wyatt. Her personality was Jada Pinkett, back in those days. Those type of people, their personalities got those gigs for them. Queen Latifah was in all type of movies before she even cracked. Wyatt? She was in all type of movies before she even cracked. She was in Juice, sir.
Okay. I don't remember her in Juice, but maybe she
Yes.
was. I'm not saying she
Remember?
wasn't. Did she say anything?
Yes, at the
Okay.
line. That's the girl at the line with
Okay.
Flex.
I'm not remember.
Was
I
she?
do remember Juice, but it's not one of my favorite movies, so I don't remember. And I'm a movie guy, but
That's
I,
what I'm trying to tell you. This is how aggressive Latifah is, sir. She bullied her way in the game as a rookie, 1991.
how did she bully her way in the game,
She
bro?
got in Juice, sir.
No, no,
You
no, no,
didn't
no, no.
even
What
know
I'm
this woman
saying to
was in
you is
there, and that was 40
what
years ago.
yeah, what I'm telling you is this though, bro. Latifah she set a foundation for herself in the rap game. Like she was one of the hardest female artists at one point. Her and MC Light, there was not much room for women at that time in rap at all.
They was cut from the same cloth, sir. They was cut from the same cloth. But if you want to go bar for bar, MC Light is one of the greatest. She's better than Latifah. It's between Mia X and MC Light, Wyatt. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Latifah is just her personality, sir. She gets, you see how many Oscars that woman won? She wins Oscars, Grammys, whatever she wants, she gets, Wyatt.
Man, you killing me today. Okay, maybe
You
so.
noticed
Maybe.
that? Did you notice that?
Yeah, I mean,
she gets movies, music. What else you want to see from her?
I mean, I could think of a whole lot of MCs that came after them that I could talk about. I really liked Yo-Yo back in the day. To be honest with you, I like
because he
Yo-Yo.
was attracted to her.
I was not attracted to her, but she wasn't ugly.
Yes.
But no, it was the fact that she was with the Lynch Mob, and the beats and her lyrics all went together. It was just a good combination. I mean, they were dope. They were good artists. And if you're gonna bring back these type of artists, speaking of these type of artists, those are the artists that we need for the jazz festival. Go give Yo-Yo some money.
But
Go
Yo-Yo
give MC
is not
Light some
coming
money.
up with that, sir. She's coming. That's all beauty. She's not the cloth we just came from. Yo-Yo does not come from the same cloth as Latifah, Mia X, and MC Light, sir. She's different. She's a model playing a rapper. That's different.
Who?
You just right. Yo-Yo, she's the model. She's the pretty girl.
No,
you just
Yo-Yo
put her
had
in there.
Yo-Yo had fire. She had lyrics, bro.
She had Ice Cube, sir.
Okay.
That is,
so
the
who you
other
think
ones
wrote?
we named had themselves. They were independent. Ooh, ladies first, ladies first.
Okay, well, I mean, all I'm saying back then, bro, like
U-N-I-T-Y.
I don't know how
Do you
many of
remember
them.
that song? U-N-I-T-Y, Unity?
But I don't know who wrote who lyrics back in the day. Okay, I don't even think
We
people
know
cared
them all.
about that.
Yes, we do.
No,
We know Latifah coming with that fire. That was her brain. I told you she bullied her way in the game, but she had the substance behind her bars. When you come with Yo-Yo, you coming with a phenomenal model. She's like a Vanessa Williams type. You see what I mean? She's not who you think she is. You got Ice Cube, O'Shea Jackson right now. Wyatt, you must understand.
Well, okay, I'm not. You don't know who writing Sexy Red lyrics or Cardi B. You think Cardi B write her lyrics? As trash as they are, do you really think she's sitting there with a pen? She barely can say the damn lyrics. How the hell is she writing this shit? I mean, I'm just saying, I know I'm gonna get some blowback for that, but the truth of the matter is, they're not writing their shit anyway.
But that was a low blow. Why would you bring up Cardi B writing her own lyrics?
Well, you brought up the girls that Ice Cube wrote Yo-Yo lyrics, and I'm saying, what difference does that make who wrote their lyrics? But I mean, you kind of brought that up.
I mean, ultimately, I agree with you. I mean, ultimately, you got me. I get you in on this debate. You did win this debate. It doesn't matter. It's about the music. We don't care who writing what. Michael Jackson is one of the greatest artists ever.
And he didn't write all them songs that he sung. He didn't write all them songs. Somebody else wrote them and produced them. He was the lyric. He bought the songs, but he didn't write all them songs. So what difference
He's
does
the
it make?
Performer. Right. The performer is Cardi B.
Okay, but okay. So let me ask you your opinion on this, CK. Then we'll move on. I think it was Twin who said bring in for the jazz festival like Sexy Red, and he never mentioned Cardi B. I kind of put that one in there, but the younger generational rappers, would you want them to be part of the Cincinnati Jazz Festival for a night?
Absolutely, yes, 100%, sir.
Yeah,
when you talk about Sexy Red, Cardi B, today. They will be shaking their cheeks. It will be a cheek fest.
Yeah, and
don't you want a cheek fest in Cincinnati?
No, that's not.
You don't?
No, I'm no. That's an honest answer, bro. I'm just gonna be as transparent as I possibly can. I don't want that.
Why wouldn't you want that?
Because number one, I'm a grown ass man with daughters. All right, that's just part of it. That's a section of it. I don't feel comfortable. Like you would never catch me in a strip club with girls in there my daughter's age. I don't do strip clubs in the first place, but there's just certain things that a man my age don't engage in. At a certain point, you just don't even find it to be entertaining anymore. And that's probably why I don't like women that have to twerk with their lyrics when they have to perform at the same time they do that. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I was a huge Beyonce fan when she was singing and Destiny Child was doing their things and Beyonce was running them riffs and doing this and this and that. And then she started wearing certain clothes and doing all these different moves and she didn't have to do that. Whitney Houston would have never had to get up there and perform songs and use body moves in order to strengthen her. You know, I guess I'm just not that type of guy where you have to be sexy to sell. I rather it be lyrics, voice. That's an entertainer for me. That's just because of my age. I get it if somebody's younger than me and they want to see Beyonce, you know, twerking and all that. I get it. I ain't mad at them. It's just not for me. And when you got rappers talking about slipping Mickeys and shit in drinks and dozing people off and stealing the alcohol, stealing their jewelry.
You have to give him props for being honest for what he does. He told you the truth. He could have kept that to himself.
Who?
But he told it to the world.
Who?
Rick Ross.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You wouldn't want that to be a secret. You need people to know those type of things. Right?
All right. So I'm gonna put you down for Sexy Red and Cardi B and the Tramp Squad to come in and perform at the Jazz Festival. You okay with a night like that?
You need it. I mean, when you bring Cheek Fest to Cincinnati, that's what you need.
Yeah, well,
I mean, why
don't they just do that at the Heritage Bank Arena one night? That shouldn't be part of a grown person's night or a grown person's weekend. You know, you can even drive to Indianapolis and see a show like that, or drive to Dayton when they go in town, or drive to Columbus to go see Sexy Red and all them old type of acts. That is not supposed to be in the cool jazz.
What about Megan Thee Stallion? Did you forgetting about her?
Yeah,
also?
I don't really do that. I don't do that. I don't do that either.
She would help the Cheek Fest. I think she would make the Cheek Fest bigger.
Probably so. But just because, look, bro, the marketing has worked, okay? They get these women. Most of the people that love these people don't even know their lyrics. They don't even know what them girls saying in them songs. They hear the beat. They go along with the beat. They usually doing some type of group dance that fits the beat and some type of, you know, thing that's going on that makes everybody familiar with the song. And they don't even really hear the lyrics. They just paying attention to what turns them on, and it's the beat and it's the stage appearance of the young lady. And for me, I grew up on hip hop. I grew up listening to bar for bar.
And she's coming from the 90s. She's a 92 style rapper. She don't rap like 2025. Sexy Red raps like a 93 chick from Atlanta. You see what I mean?
Well, let me just say something that somebody said. I forgot who it was. It might have been Trick Daddy, or it might have been who is the other guy that's kind of out there that say whatever on his mind?
Bootsy.
It might have been Bootsy. Now that you say it was one of them dudes who said everybody tripping about them bringing these ghetto girls out here and these ratchet ass girls. We used to have fake girls trying to act ratchet. Now y'all all in your feelings because we using real ratchet girls to do our hip hop now.
Thank you.
So look, I understand, but it ain't for me. I didn't like it when the fake ratchet was trying to be ratchet. I didn't like it when the real ones are being what they are. I don't like it. That's just me.
Good music. I mean, listen, sir. I come from the days of Luther Vandross, Marvin Gaye.
You can't even put that in the same category of what we're talking about right now.
I have the accolades to speak on, you know what I mean? I listen to Teddy Pendergrass. So when I'm listening to Sexy Red, I got the credentials, sir.
Okay. So what do you like about let me ask you this, bro, because this is kind of getting interesting just a little bit for me. Because you just mentioned all those great artists, and now you're trying to put them in the same category as these Sexy Reds and people like that. I'm curious to know, what is it that impresses you lyrically about Sexy Red? What is it about those artists that make them? Is it the stage appearance? Is it the bars? Is it the lyrics?
The bars, the
bars?
honesty, and the honesty. She's coming from the angle of pure honesty. I don't care what nobody think. That's what makes her stand up. You can't come see everybody else coming with they think you want to hear. No, she coming with no. Y'all don't know about this. Let me tell you about this. That's what makes her stand out. Now, when you compare her to a great artist like Marvin Gaye,
you can't do that, CK. Don't even put them names together. That's so disrespectful, bro.
You telling me if Marvin Gaye was alive today, he wouldn't do a song with Sexy Red?
No, hell no.
What?
What the hell you think, bro? You better wait. Yes, what are you talking about? Who's one of the
sexual healing?
Wait a minute, brother. No. Now let me tell you what might happen. You might be on to something. Would they buy his one of his songs to do a sample off of for Sexy Red? Probably.
I said if he was alive,
he would not sing background. No, he wouldn't. Okay, who's the best living artist right now that's actually living? That's actually alive and that's an old school individual. Help me out, y'all, so I can make this make sense.
Stevie Wonder.
Okay, so do you think Stevie Wonder would do a song with Sexy Red? Hell no. Do you think Lionel Richie?
If he was in his,
do you think
Lionel Richie? Range, yes.
Do you think Lionel Richie? But you said your boy that you just mentioned, he
Marvin Gaye. I'm talking about how old he was then.
Shit, if he was that old now, he would do a song with him. You'd be lucky if you can get an Usher to do a song with a Sexy Red.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm saying that they will not, bro. That would be brand damaging. If them guys came out and you said, who did you say? Marvin Gaye?
What about Anthony Hamilton? You don't think he'll do a song?
I think it's out of his perimeter. I think that's out of his range too. But he, some of these guys, I wouldn't say that they wouldn't because, everybody's career is different. And and I'm not suggesting Anthony Hamilton, but some guys would see it as, oh, this is an opportunity for me to rejuvenate my career. But
that's Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye
was doing fine. Oh, you want to bring him out the grave? That's what you saying. Because
it is.
No, no. I don't think
higher and higher. Your love. That's him right there, ain't it? Ain't that Marvin?
Your love is lifting me higher and higher. I don't think Marvin Gaye sang that.
Nope.
Okay. Well, CK, I think we missed the mark today. I think we missed the mark. I think it started out okay. But you went on the side of Twin and y'all talking about some bring Sexy Red into this jazz. Yeah, this shit is crazy. I never thought I would have a conversation like this. I'll be honest with you. It was a little interesting, but I'm just saying, like, you have to understand, you've been in Cincinnati your whole life, haven't you? Or weren't you born and raised there?
I was everywhere. Cincinnati, Los Angeles, Atlanta.
Okay, now it's starting to make a little sense to me why somebody is.
So I seen the whole world.
Yeah, now now it's starting to make a little sense to me because when you live in a different city, you do have different mindsets about how things work and how things go. And those cities that you just mentioned are a little faster paced, and dumb shit do try that. They do dumb shit there. And Cincinnati being a little bit more conservative, I just think that it would be a bad situation. If you want to kill a crowd, if you want to kill a jazz festival, bring Sexy Red, Cardi B, and one of them other ones in here.
Do you think we can successfully host the Tank Davis fight here?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
Probably
I just asked you the way you think.
Yeah, I mean, Tank is doing well fighting in Baltimore, not Baltimore, no, in Brooklyn.
New York City.
He's doing well fighting in Brooklyn because Brooklyn's not that far from Baltimore, and it's a Spanish area, and they can bring in a Spanish boy for him to fight, and they're gonna get the crowd. Tank he gets paid enough, so they have to sell the gate. The gate has to sell for it to make sense.
Man, hey, I appreciate, because I'm the only person in the world that think like that. Like you said, it's not another person in the world that would put Marvin Gaye and Sexy Red.
No.
That's what makes
No.
Cincinnati
And I
great,
don't
bro.
think I don't think Marvin Gaye would ever agree to that.
People don't even think like that. Won't nobody even think like if you think about Marvin Gaye, you won't even think of the Sexy Red.
Okay, let me ask you this, bro. Do you think Luther Vandross? What am I doing? Do you think Luther Vandross would do a song with Sexy Red?
No, but I think he would with Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh my God. Okay,
Yeah,
bro.
because she's from Texas.
Okay, all right. If you say so, brother. If you say so. I'm sorry you lost me on that one, CK.
She more of his type.
Who's more his type?
Megan Thee Stallion.
I don't think either one of them women was Luther Vandross type, to be honest with you. I think Freddie Jackson might have been Luther Vandross. I'm just playing. But
right.
No, I don't know what you meant. I'm just
he
having
said
fun.
neither one of them is his type. That's funny.
Yeah, no,
That's
I don't think.
Funny but true. Damn. Funny but damn
Fame
true.
Rothstein, what's up, brother?
Leave it on that note, man.
Thanks.
Much respect to the family.
All right, brother. Same to you, man. Thanks for calling in and blessing us on our 5th year anniversary. Thank you very much, man.
Hey, happy 5th anniversary, man.
Thank you, brother.
Congratulations for all the success.
Thank you, brother. Have a great day. Thanks for engaging with us, CK. Woo wee, boy. Try that. Try CK and Twin back to back and talking about Sexy Red, that type of stuff. That's a hummer. That's a hummer, bro. That's a hummer. I mean, if you want to try to get me back in rhythm of doing this podcast thing again, that type of thing might sharpen me up a little bit. It might get me a little bit better on being able to get my thoughts and stuff. Because this is a thinking man game or a thinking person's game. You gotta kind of be sharp on your feet when you're doing this and you're doing it live and anything can happen and you're working the boards and you're doing everything at the same time. It can be a little challenging at times. And if you sit back and let it, sit dormant, you can lose your rhythm and you can lose what's going on with yourself. So thank you, Twin, and thank you, CK, for engaging with us. Thank you, Tracy Dillingham, for engaging with us today. I think that was I'm going to give the caller of the day. I'm going to start doing that. Caller of the day had to be Tracy Dillingham. That call right there made a whole lot of sense. The other ones, they made the sense that I guess they were trying to prove something. I don't know. But Tracy Dillingham came in and told him like grown folks don't want to see no damn Sexy Reds, Cardi B's. We don't want to see no teeny boppers out there. And we certainly hell don't want to be in the same building of kids as bringing in guns. Not to say that some of the 40 and 50-year-olds ain't carrying no guns. But, I don't think a brother is going to pull his gun out at 52 years old or 48 years old because you scuffed his Stacey Adams shoe. I think we tend to have a little bit more of a reasonable way of seeing things, and we think about it a little bit. We tend to think before we react. So there's less gunplay that's going to happen that night. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. And those are the type of buildings I like to be in if I'm going to show my face. If I show up to something, it's going to have to be it's going to have to be reasonable folks my age. I'm not trying to be in the building with Megan Thee Stallions and all that old shit. That don't do nothing for me. Guys, I'm up on my time. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'll see you guys. I want to thank everybody. Let me just show you guys who may not have been here early. This is my 27th year anniversary with my wife. This is my wife and I right here at an event. My gorgeous wife, my queen, my everything. And we've been together for over 30 years. I don't know exactly how many. It's probably 33, 34. And we've been married 27 of those 33, 34 years. And Mrs. Wyatt, I want to thank you for being who you are. Thank you for what you've been able to help me be the best me. And let's try to give it 27 more years, baby. Let's see if we got 27 more in us. Let's see if we can do it. Hopefully I'll be here. Hopefully you'll be here. But if not, we're going to make it a nice run. We're going to try to get there together. So that's my time, y'all. Peace and love to everybody, man. I will see you guys on the next one. I probably won't be back until Tuesday. I'm in Chicago over the weekend. Tomorrow I'm in Cincinnati, and we're leaving from Cincinnati to Chicago. I'll be back. Hopefully, I'll still be in Chicago on Monday. How about I do a live, maybe like for 30 minutes in Chicago from the rooftop? My wife gonna kill me. She's gonna kill me. Let's do it. Let's do it because the makeup is always the better. I love the makeup. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'll see you guys Monday for a short show. Peace.
Yeah. So you wanna be hardcore with your hat to the back, talking about the gaps in your raps, but I can't feel that hardcore appeal that you're screaming. Maybe I'm dreaming. This ain't Christopher Williams, still some empty. Got the feel one, caps I got the feel some. To let niggas know that if you fuck with big and heavy, I get up in that ass like a wedgie. Says who? Says me, the lyrical. Niggas saying Biggie off the street, it's a miracle. Left the drugs alone, took the thugs along with me. Just for niggas acting shifty. Sticks and stones, break bones, but they gotta kill you quicker. Especially when I'm drunk off the liquor. Smoking fuck by the boxes, packing glocks. It's natural to eat your niggas like chocolates. The fuck, baby. On his bitches, big booty bitches. Used to sell crack so I could stack my riches. Now I pack gats to stop all the snitches from staying in my business. What is this? Relentless approach to know if I'm broke or not. Just cause I joke and smoke a lot don't mean I don't tote the Glock. 16 shots for my niggas in the pen until we motherfucking meet again. I'm doing rhymes now, fuck the crimes now. Come on the app, I'm real hard to find now. Cause I'm knee deep in the beats. In the Land Cruiser Jeep with the Mac 10 by the seats. For the jackers, the jealous ass crackers in the I make you prove that it's bulletproof. Hold your head, cause when you hit the bricks, I got gin mad blunts and bitches sucking dick. The fuck, baby. Smoke funk, smack bitches on the backside. Bed-Stuy, the place where my head rests. 50-shot clip if a nigga want test. The rocket launcher, Biggie stomps ya. High as a motherfucking helicopter. That's why I pack a Nina. Fuck a misdemeanor. Beating motherfuckers like Ike beat Tina. What's love got to do? When I'm ripping all through your whole crew. Strapped like bamboo, but I don't sling guns. I got bags of funk and it's selling by the tons. Niggas wanna know how I live the Mac life. Making money, smoking mics like crack pipes. It's type simple and plain to maintain. I add a little funk to the brain. The funk, baby. The funk, baby.